Oh,
Yeah,
great.
we are
Excellent.
we are live now. We were having some technical issues, but we are good and ready to go. Hi everyone, welcome to the weekly show of Classroom Without Walls, using technology to reimagine education. My name is I'm the host of this weekly show. I created this show because I think our society has changed a lot. Social media and technology play a huge role in our changing society. On this show, I interview leading professors and professionals like Deborah Erkling regarding topics related to social media, technology, education, learning, and change. If you are new to the show, thank you so much for being here. If you are returning attendee, you know how much I love you and appreciate you. If you are watching this on replay, hi, future people. Today, I'm so honored to have Deborah Erkling join us. Deborah is the founder of Write On Online and Guided Goals. She is a professional writer and a communication specialist with more than 15 years of experience in the industry. She is also an editor for Social Media Examiner. And I love Social Media Examiner, and that shows to me how excellent Deborah is. She's also an author, a podcaster, and a social media strategist. Please stay till the end of the show. We have a free giveaway. Deborah, thank you so much for being here on my show. It is truly my honor, and welcome to the show.
Well, thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here. I'm trying to share with my people, and Facebook is being persnickety. So hopefully I'll, looking at you, that's just because I want, to get more people out here watching us.
Yes, and we already
yes,
have a few.
I'm thrilled.
Oh. Are you frozen again? We were having this problem earlier.
Frozen?
Yes, you are good now.
Am I frozen? Should I okay, I should just wiggle every now and then so we're good.
We already have a few people here. David, Gary, Lisa, and Alberto, thank you so much for being here. Please tell us where you are joining us from. I am from South Korea right now. And Deb, you are joining us from?
Los Angeles, California.
Awesome. I love our global community. And do you want to add anything to my brief intro there?
No, I think you pretty much covered it. Oh, wait, I found our stream so I can share it. Yay! And then I can stop being distracted, which is awesome. No, you pretty much got me and my bio covered. And I've been doing this for a long time, but love, in addition to the fact that we get to be global and see people from everywhere, is, I do like so many different things, and I can in this day and age. I've got my coaching, my communications, my writing, I write books, so it's like this is the age of the mix and match career too, because you can do what you want, and a lot of the people that I work with, they have a day job and they have a passion project, and they just need a coach to keep them going, to focus on the goals and make them a priority. So I'm just very fortunate to be able to do what I love, and I'm thrilled to be here today. So thank you for inviting me.
Did you hear some noise or no? Is everything good?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you. I heard some noise. I don't know, probably just like we are having all sorts of technical issues today. But anyway, we have Shmuel here, Sue here. Thank you so much, everyone. You guys are the best. And we are just going to get started here. And Deborah, your services cover three major areas: goal setting, writing, and social media. I'm just going to ask you one or two questions in each of the three areas. First, let's begin with goal setting. This is scary. 2017 is almost over, and people are getting prepared for 2018. And you have helped so many individuals and businesses to help them set smart, effective business goals to transform their careers and businesses. Based on your personal experience, what do you think are some common mistakes that people make in terms of goal setting, and how can we learn from those mistakes so that we can avoid them and be better?
Well, the biggest mistake is the no-brainer is they don't set goals. And that's the thing that you have to do is you have to look at, and the other thing too is goal setting. We've put a lot of focus on it toward the end of the year and then the beginning of the year, but really it's year round. So you shouldn't just think of, oh, it's January, awesome, because our lives evolve and change. So what I recommend people do is just make like a laundry list you want to accomplish during the year, and then pick out the big goals from there, and then see which of your little goals help make up the big goals. So you're starting off with a major thing. And the other thing about having the little goals in there too is you can have small wins in there. So it's not you're spending all year working towards big things. You have to work toward the little benchmarks that get you to the big goals and celebrate all of your accomplishments. So the first thing to do is to set the goals and to review them. You should be looking at them every day, every week, something like that. But every quarter, take a look at them and see if things in your life have shifted and see what you need to do to make changes. So that's a big thing. The other mistake is they don't look at, and this kind of ties into what I just said, they're not looking at the whole picture. They're just saying this. But you really need to look at your whole life, your responsibilities, your job, your family, things that come up in your life, and set goals that you can accomplish. Yes, it's good to have goals in there, New York Times bestseller list, sell a screenplay, like some really big goals, but you should have look at your life and see what you can do. And that way, you're setting yourself up for success, which I guess is the biggest mistake is people don't set themselves up for success. And then when life happens and they can't accomplish anything, they give up and they're like, oh, it's my fault. I'm a terrible person. No, you're not. If you can't achieve your goals, especially if like life happens, because there are certain things you have no control over, then you have to take a breath, deal with what you need to deal with, and then refresh or lower your goals. Just to make sure you have to keep your head about you, that that's about it. You have to be reasonable in your expectations of yourself.
Yeah, I think those are really great points. What I'm hearing from you is like goal setting is like your personal brand. You just have to engage in constant auditing and reflection and making changes and be realistic. And also believe in yourself, really want to challenge yourself. Is that right?
That believe in yourself, that's a huge thing. And because you have to. Why are you spending your time on this if you don't believe you can do it? So
yes,
absolutely.
Yes, definitely.
Completely agree with that.
Yeah, I also want to give a few shout out to people who just joined. Dorothy is here, Natasha is here, Danica is here, and Sue is here. Thank you so much, everyone. You mean a lot to me, and thank you so much for being here. You are here for a real treat. Deborah is amazing, and please stay till the end for a free giveaway. And I love examples. And can you share your personal goals and what you want to accomplish in 2018, if you don't mind sharing with us, Deborah, and kind of give us some examples in terms of setting effective goals for yourself?
Okay, well, I'm going to use myself as an example for one of the things that I just mentioned, which is I had non-major, but several curveballs happened to me this year. And one of my goals this year was to finish my goal setting book. At some point, I'm like, you know what? I could stress out about the fact that my book is not going to be done my next book is not going to be done this year. Or I can say, you know what? Other things took priority. It's okay. I made other goals. So the writing the book, or finishing and publishing my next book in the Write On book series is definitely at the top of for next year. So that's a big one. The other thing, and saying it out loud also helps, is that I really need to beef up my virtual coaching aspect. I do a lot of workshops in LA. I do a lot of one-on-one coaching, but I really want to get to more people. So a huge goal for me in 2000 launch a more steady virtual component where I can do what I do, which is help people figure out the goals and set them. As I mentioned before, January is a big month for me. I speak at a couple of chambers and some small groups. Will bring me in to talk about goal setting and productivity, and I love it. It's so much fun. I just want to reach more people. So I need to step up. There's just so many hours in the day, but this is something that means a lot to me is to be. So that's another one of my big goals for next year. And then a third, I always say that you should have at least 2 goals going. You need to have an alpha, because if you burn out on one project, that way you can move forward on the other. But the other thing that's important is to also have a personal goal. And it could be a personal project. It could be eating healthy. Oh, one of the goals that I did accomplish this year is to cook more and become better at it. And actually, that one I accomplished. So I was very, very pleased. At least one of my big personal goals was met. So one of my big personal goals for next year is I have this fun project I've been working on and off. It's a nonfiction blog, but there's a creative component that I've been toying with, and I got started on it this year. So making it available more mainstream into the world is huge for me. So wow. I'd say those are my 3 larger ones coming up for this year. And you also wanted tips for how I and you all should accomplish, right? And the main thing for accomplishing goals is to set appointments with yourself. You have to treat, and this goes back to setting things that are realistic, you need to figure out what you can spend on your goals and then set appointments. And if it's 15-minute appointments a couple times a week, that's fine. 2 15-minute appointments is a half an hour a week, and that's a half an hour more a week than you worked on it before you set the appointments with yourself. And people, you do an hour block, whatever it is, but wins the race sort of thing. The other part, you have to work on your goals every day, but you should think about them every day. So it goes back to that list I told you that you should look at, ideally every day, but once a week is fine too. So you have the projects in your mind. So when you're ready and you have the time to work on them, you're not starting from scratch again. That's another helpful bit.
Yes, I love those ideas, and I didn't know you are.
Another one?
Yes.
Oh, we have a little delay. So you.
I think I will stop.
Should I keep talking?
Yes.
I'll keep talking.
Yes, please.
Okay, so you need to set appointments with yourself. You need to keep appointments with yourself. And I have something I call the 5 of 7 rule, which is you should be working on your projects 5 of every 7 days. So that way, let's say you set up a 15-minute appointment every day. You miss it one day, so you think you have to do a half an hour. The next day, you miss it 2 days. You think you have to do 45 minutes, and it keeps building up. And you're like, I don't have 45 minutes. I didn't even have 15 minutes. It just kind of gives you permission to only be working on your projects a couple days a week. And the other days, they can be like thinking time. Now, if all you're doing is thinking about your project, that's cheating. Thinking counts, but you also need to put in some action days in there. So that's another one that I like. And then the other thing that I love, if you're not sure about your goals, is to do directed journaling. And this is, you set appointments again. You'll see a couple common themes of things that I talk about, and appointments is one of my favorites. But so you set your 15-minute appointments and maybe set 3 or 4 of them. And basically just ask yourself the same question. What are my goals? What do I want to accomplish? When I visualize the life that I want, what does it look like? And this is the trick. You set these appointments and you brainstorm into your journal. Let me see how many words I can make up at the same time. And the trick is, don't look at them until after you've done this 3 or 4 times. Because what happens is when you go back to look at your form, you're going to see common themes. And those are the things that you need to focus on, the things that you keep mentioning. And this also works for when you decide that you want to start a blog, then what you can do is do directed journaling about your blog. Brainstorm the different ideas that you have so you come across your focus. It works for writing a book. It works for starting a podcast. This one technique where you dump out everything specific to your project and then go back and look at it objectively, because we try so hard, and by we I mean everybody on the planet probably, to figure out things in your head, and you can't. You need to have a perspective on it, and writing them down and looking at them is what's going to help you with that.
Yes, those are some really, really great tips. I love the ones like David mentioned, that setting appointment with yourself, which is so brilliant. I like check on yourself. I never did that. And I didn't know you are working on another book, Deborah. Congratulations.
Oh, well, thank you. Well, this is the first one is Write On Blogging, 51 Tips to Create, Write, and Promote Your Blog. And so this is Write On Goal Setting, or Write On Guided Goals, which is 51 tips to set, strategize, and achieve your goals. So coming soon. See, I keep talking about it. One day it's going to just pop up. Deb mentioned that book. Oh, I'm glad she did her goal of the goal setting book. That's what'll go through your head, right?
Yeah. I also ask people in the audience to share some of their accomplishment in the comment section. I'm just looking at the comments, really impressed. For example, David Hausmer mentioned that he left his job to start his own consulting business, which is focused on human-centered management. So congratulations, David, and some other people sharing their accomplishments. And Julia, thank you. Julie, thank you so much for being here. And Shval also accomplished something. Congratulations, everyone. I will catch up on the comments later. Those are some really great tips, Deborah. Thank you so much. And now let's move to writing. And I know you are an expert at writing. And for me, I'm a professor and also a consultant. So writing, I'm sure for everyone in the audience, plays a huge part in our professional career. And can you please, and you are the founder of Write On Online. Can you please tell us more about this, and how can we be part of this, and how can we benefit from being a part of this?
Well, Write On Online started as a live writer that I created back when I lived in Chicago, and then I relaunched it in Los Angeles in 2002, and it was a live group. We met. It was once a month, twice a month. And the whole premise was setting and achieving goals. You go around the circle. What's your biggest accomplishment? What is your goal for next time? And around 2008, when all of the wonderful online social media blogging started getting mainstream, that's when Write On, the live group, became Write On Online, writeononline.com. And social is wonderful because the thing about writers is a lot of them do it all by themselves. Now, things have changed. Now everybody has to be writing, and I'll get to that in a second. But especially around the time that I started the group, that it was for support of people who had who didn't have people in their life who got them, who didn't have people celebrating their accomplishments. And that's how my business grew, is people started asking me if I could help them one-on-one. So talk about going through your path and landing on something you love. Very, very lucky. So Write On Online has a Facebook page, which is facebook.com/writeononline.com, or facebook.com/writeon. And there's also a Facebook group now, facebook.com/group/writeononline. Big fan of branding. You can also find it Write On Online on Twitter and Instagram. And I think, not sure about my YouTube. I've been a little bit remiss on that one. But basically, if you search for me, it's going to come up anyway. So I want to invite everybody who's watching to please like the page and join the group. And this is how they're a little bit different. So the page is all about the goal setting and sharing resources to achieve goals. So at the beginning of every week, I'll ask, post your goals for the week. End of the week, I'll post, how'd everybody do on your goals this week? Same for the beginning and the end of the month. I do a goal drawing for a book once a month for everybody who's posted goals throughout the month. Just a little extra incentive, but usually the incentive is stating your goals to other people so you're more held accountable. And then throughout, so those are the main focus of the page, and then I will share motivating things, and I'll use it for to share my newsletter, Write On Wednesday, different articles from me and from other places. So Write On Online is all about the motivation to set and achieve goals. And then the Write On Facebook group, which 8 years ago when groups were merged.
Yes.
Okay, so groups were merged into pages. And then I had this dormant that I just relaunched earlier this year. And that's all about the community, because I was getting questions, Deb, I'm on the other side of the world. How can I become involved? So the group is more, there's still the goal setting and accountability aspect, but in addition to that, it's about community and connection. So I'll do, like, well, yesterday, and this was your suggestion, I'm like, let's all follow each other on LinkedIn,
yes.
Share a thread. I do, my favorite is, and probably your most popular, is Toot Your Horn Thursday. What is your biggest win this week? And then I've got Photo Friday, share a picture, and then I'll have a weekend thread and networking thread at the beginning of the week. And about once a month, I'll invite people to share their specialties, because who you can help and who can help you. So that's really a matter of getting to know people in the community and seeing how you can help each other.
Yeah.
So it's my group was just made for social media. It's allowed it to grow in a very nice and organic way. Yes. So the other thing was, it went online in 2008. I took a break from the live groups for a while, and then about 3 or 4 years ago, I started doing afternoon hangouts again once a month. And now it's not just for writers, but it's for writers, creatives, and entrepreneurs, because in this day and age, if you're a creative or an entrepreneur or you're anybody, you need to be writing. So yes. That's why it's not just for writers, it's for people who need that support and motivation, not just from me, but from other people in the group. And again, you never know.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Yeah, some really great points. And I love you mentioned like community building, and it is so important. And Sue also recommended and resonated with you that community building is so important. I love how your Facebook group is so active. Everyone is always talking to each other, engaging with each other, and supporting each other. And I see that, first of all, you are still frozen, but we can hear you clearly. And I think we can just keep doing this because we can hear you, but we just can't see you. You are just like frozen in a very good pose. So no worry about that.
Am I frozen in a good way, or do you want me to refresh? What do you think?
No, you are in a good way. I think we can just keep going. We don't want to lose you again.
Okay.
Yes. And I see that we have quite a few people who are kind of joined consulting. this year who are relatively new to this, can you please share with us and a few ways that you bring like clients to yourself? Like, how do you find those people who want to work with you, and where did you find them?
Well, most of the people who come to me come through referrals. So they mention to someone who knows me that they've had a project that they've wanted to work on for a while and they can't quite get the time in their life to do it. So I'd say most of them come through there. I have gotten some clients from the group, and what I do is it didn't really exist before I started doing it, because it's so specialized. I call myself a project catalyst. It's helping people figure out how to get the things done that they really want to do, that they've been thinking about doing for so long. This is the person who comes up to me, Deb, I've been trying to write my book for 3 years. Can you help me? Yes, and we got it done in 3 months. So
wow.
There is a huge benefit to having a person who's setting deadlines, helping you troubleshoot, and a sounding board. So that's, like I said, most people, I should probably promote myself a little bit more. That was one of the other goals this year that I accomplished, is I wanted to do more interviews. So that sort of thing I've done on myself this year, because like I said, I love this stuff. I'm like a helping people junkie. And the more I get out there, the more people who know me, the more I can get people to me.
Absolutely.
So.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm kind of like myself, being in academia for so many years. I always assume if I just do my work and people will discover me. And then later I learned that is not the case. You really have to have good content, of course, by the same time, actively marketing yourself and promoting yourself. So we really appreciate you being on this show, Deb. And now I learned even more about you. This is truly amazing how you helped someone finish a book from 3 years to 3 months. That is huge. That is truly amazing. Yeah.
Well, thank you. Well, people get in their heads, and they need someone to keep them on track. I have clients who will email me literally 2 minutes before we're supposed to talk, because I work like a fitness trainer. So we make the plan in the first meeting, and then we talk every week or every other week to make sure it goes forward. But like I said, I get an email like right before we're supposed to talk. Look, I did my homework. Great. Wow. I don't care when they did their homework, but they have a deadline because they know they're talking to me. And that's certainly helpful.
Yeah, that's good. And that also goes back to what you shared earlier, having appointment with yourself to just check on yourself. Mm-hmm. This is really good. And clearly you are a superb writer, have excellent writing skills. No wonder you are an editor for Social Media Examiner, a brand I love so much. And can you please quickly share with us like your top 3 writing secrets so that we can be as good as you or as half good as you?
Well, and before I answer, I have to tell you, I love Social Media Examiner too. I used the website before I ever started work. Then when they were looking for an editor, I'm like, okay, I'm going to throw my hat in the ring because I love them. So definitely was a really good fit. Okay, the top 3 writing tips. Number 1 is journal. If you want to become a better writer, you need to be writing. And I know everybody says that, but this is the thing that journaling does, especially, and you can take ideas from it, but the things you observe, the things that are on your mind, what makes you sad, that all helps you build your voice and your tone and your style. So then when you've been practicing the writing muscles, it makes it easier when you are vlogging or working on your book or anything, because we have to constantly be writing what your gig is. So that just helps you become a better writer. The secret to better writing is writing. I know it sounds hokey, but it is so true. And it's practice. You are practicing to make it easy. I did a book previously called Purple Pencil Adventures, Writing Prompts for Kids of All Ages. And it's basically writing prompts to make writing fun, so kids will like writing. So when they have to write things that they don't like, it's easy because they've practiced. So that's the number one tip. The other thing is if you're struggling and you want to become a better writer, read your work out loud. Because if you're self-editing, then if you read it out loud, you're more likely to catch the things that are stumbling blocks. Because usually if you read something just with your eyes and your brain, you will miss things. But when you read it out loud, you catch things. So that's another good thing. And then a third thing, and this I find really important too, is especially if you are a new writer or you're working on a project or something, be careful who you share with. Make sure, and this is especially important if you are working on a book of some sort, is make sure you know it. And it could be fiction, it could be nonfiction, it could be a short story, it could be an article. You just have to be wary that you know your stuff before you share it with other people. Yes, at certain points you will need feedback, and that's totally fine. But be sure you know so you can view whatever feedback you get in an objective manner.
Those are really some really great tips, and I'm just reading some people's comments. Like for someone just like starting out to produce really good content, do you have kind of like a number, like how many like posts or blogs people should send out every week, or like it's too hard to say quantify?
Well, I'll tell you, figure out what you can do. If you can do I'd say figure out what you can do and do one less. If you think you can do 3 blog posts a week, you should schedule 2. Pick 2 days to blog. If you think you can do 2 posts a week, start with 1. And once you get the 1 going and you can get a little extra content in there, up it to 2. But always choose to post on the same day or days every week. I think of a blog as a magazine. You want to have certain categories and topics you talk about, and certain days of the week you post certain things. Like I have Write on Wednesday, the one post that go to a week, except for on newsletter weeks. That's basically the longer version of it. And then I'll do author interviews, not every Thursday, but on some Thursdays. And then on Tuesdays, I'll do sporadic dev posts. So there's always, and my blog has evolved. I started doing author interviews because a friend of mine had a book coming out, and I said, I have a platform, let me interview you. That's how I started doing that. So that's my thing. Like I said, there's definitely content once, usually twice a week on my blog. If I can, I'll sneak in some extra fun stuff. But start with what you can do and keep up. And once you get there, then you can add to it.
I love every single tip you shared. I feel like we can finally catch up with you, Deb. And I love this idea of author interviews, because sometimes I struggle with what should I blog about? What should I write about? And I think for everyone watching this, you can really find people in your industry or people you admire, people who kind of do similar things, interview them, talk about their book. And this is such a great idea. I'm definitely going to pick up that. Thank you so much. And now let's move the last question for our interview today.
Oh, good.
And you are also a social media strategist. And do you think, my question is, do you think written content such as blogging, as we are talking about blogging and writing now, is losing like popularity or momentum in today's digital space, where it's increasingly image driven and video driven and live streaming video driven? So do you think written content is losing momentum? What's your take on this?
I think there will always be physical books. There will always be content. Even if you're live streaming or doing a podcast or whatever, there are words involved as well. I think there's always going to be a time and a place for people to be expressed, because it's different. Expressing your thoughts through the written word is different than expressing it through audio or video. And I love live streaming. I love it even more when my face moves, but we take what technology hands us. But you should have a mix, and what you will always need. So keep practicing and you'll get better, or you'll explore other things. That's something too. If you're an experienced writer, write different things. You know, that alpha beta project, find a fun little second project that's completely out of your comfort zone and work on that. You don't necessarily have to show it to anybody. You might. I mentioned the creative project before. Oh my goodness, it's so much fun, and it's so different from anything because I've written a couple novels and screenplays, and not with them, but you know, for fun. I haven't done this kind of creative writing in years, and oh, it's so enjoyable.
That's awesome, and thank you so much for answering this. And this is our last question of the day. What is one project you are super fired up right now, Deb, and how can we help you? And then we are going to do our giveaway and say goodbye to each other.
I'm so sad. The interview is almost over. I would love to add more people to my community.
Oh, sorry to interrupt you.
That's okay. I again want to invite everybody to like my page, join my group. I am always looking to be interviewed on other podcasts or Twitter chats or live videos, but especially if you have a group of people. The one I'm really excited about is the virtual coaching. So I am looking to spread the word about that. If you have a group of friends and you want to get together and you want to put a goal group together, something like that, please reach out if you know someone who I can help. But mostly I just want you to set your goals and achieve them and let me know how you're doing. And you can do that by being part of my Facebook page, my Facebook group. You can subscribe to my newsletter and go over to writeononline.com.
Awesome. Thank you. And I love the concept of virtual coaching. This is something I want to work within. And so definitely really nice to hear your comments and the tips on this. Yes. And the people also love this idea. We wish you lots of luck. And finally, our free giveaway. You are the author of Write on Blogging 51 Tips to Create, Write, Promote Your Blog. And you mentioned earlier that you are going to give us a free giveaway. Can you please share with us where can we get a copy of your excellent book, Deborah?
Well, it's actually free on Amazon today, tomorrow, and for 29th, November 30th, and December 1st. And I'm going to put the book link in our chat if you want to put it in the comments. And please grab a copy, share it with your friends. And if your goal is to launch a blog or rejigger your blog or figure out a new spin on your blog, and it's your goal for 2017, there's still time. There's totally still time. You've got a month, or you can get a jump on your blogging goals for 2018. So that's why I made my book free, because it's there because I want to help you all achieve your goals. And I think a great opportunity to do it is here with your community. And thank you so much for having me here. I'm so thrilled to be here.
Oh, thank you so much. Everyone, I shared the link to her book in the comment section. Please check it out. And I read the book. It is so amazing. I highly recommend. Definitely check it out and get a copy of her book and rock your career, rock your business, and writing and blogging in 2018. And how can we find out more about you, Deb? Like social media links, website, and you mentioned the Facebook. So your social media handles you want to share with us?
Yes, so it's writeononline.com. That's my website, and under it you can see the tabs for my books and my speaking and my coaching. On my website you can sign up for my newsletter. I send out 2 emails a month. One is the call for newsletter items, and then the other is the actual newsletter. And then I'm at Right On Online on Twitter and Instagram, and also the Right On Online Facebook group and page. Feel free to friend me, facebook.com/deckerling. Just say that you saw me here, and I'd be more than happy to connect. And also just look me up on LinkedIn as well. And I'm happy to, and because I love meeting new people. And this is the big thing about social and live. Social,
I agree,
media helps you develop live relationships, and live relationships help you develop your social media presence, and it works. So that's how we met. So, it works.
Yes, this is great. And people like Lisa says she's definitely going to get your book. And people from Julie, she learned a lot from you. And thank you so much. There are lots of David is also getting your book today. We got lots of love for you, Deb. And thank you so much for being here with us today. And I learned a lot from you. I hope everyone in the audience also learned a lot. And thank you so much. I will see you guys next Wednesday, the same location, the same time. I have an amazing educator join me next week. He interviewed Gary Vee and quite a bunch of other influencers. So definitely check him out on next Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Thank you so much. And thank you, Deb, again, for your knowledge and expertise. I truly appreciate, and thank you, guys.
Thank you all so much. Bye. Thanks.